Hello, welcome to Motivation Monday. Welcome, welcome. Just getting some things set up here as I do. So tonight we're going to be talking about the perks of being picky. How to keep a newly cleared area of your life uncluttered. Now that you've made the progress to unclutter it and to clear it, how do you keep it that way? And you do that by being picky, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Welcome, welcome. All right. Just getting some things set up here. Okay, good. All right, sweet. So if you're watching this video outside of 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time till about 8 or 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday night, you're watching the replay. So if you're commenting and I'm not responding, that's why, but you can still go ahead and comment. I circle back around and I check the comments after the video as well and respond to any that I find. So feel free to still comment if you would like, and I'll come back around and respond to you. Hey Sarah, welcome. So first going to introduce myself in case anyone here is new. Sorry, I'm totally distracted by my little swing here, which probably... There we go, that feels better. Okay, good. So I'm going to introduce myself for anyone who is joining me for the first Motivation Monday. My name is Carrie Richardson. I'm an author, a lifestyle designer, and a coach. And I help people quiet the noise in their life, clear the clutter, so they can go after the life of their dreams. Hey, Lisa. Good to see you here again. Welcome back. You can find me online at carrierichardson.com. I have a weekly newsletter you can subscribe to. You'll get a free little Clutter e-workbook when you sign up. And you'll get notifications of things like this when I do Facebook Lives or when I have new courses that have launched, which I believe, let me just see here. I'm just going to do a quick little housekeeping thing. I want to pin a comment. One moment. There it is. Yeah, so, hey Leah Marie, welcome. Welcome. Let's see. Hi Lisa, hi Sarah, hi Tamra, hi Kathy. Welcome everybody. So yes, you can sign up for my newsletter, carrierichardson.com. I also have a clutter course that's starting a week from today. Yeah, the 22nd. You can get that information on my website as well. And so... let's see here. Oh, I also want to let you know that the Hay House World Summit is still going on. You can still listen free. Series 4 is about to be released, which means you'll now have access to 100 audio lessons that are just... it's an amazing amount of information that you get free access to. So in the pinned comment underneath here, you'll see that there's a link, both for my website and also to register for the summit. Again, everything is still free right now. You can watch full-length movies, inspirational movies, listen to audios. I think I've got some new people joining me here who we were introduced to each other through my talk at the World Summit, my talk on clutter. So really encourage you to check that out. It's an unbelievable event with a huge amount of information that is available to you for free. Fantastic. Okay, good. So... if at all, during our video here, something really inspires you or resonates with you or rings true, please go ahead and hit the like or the love or the wow or whatever. The more engagement we have, the more people will be able to see this. Facebook loves to see engagement. So, and also if you want to share the video, I'd really appreciate that. If you want to share this with your family and friends, and hopefully they'll come and join the conversation, that would be cool too. Even if you're watching the replay, you can share the video. I think that's everything. So I want to start. Hey, Phyllis. Welcome. Oh, from Kentucky. Sweet. Hey, Phyllis. Welcome. I want to start by asking everyone here to put a comment in the comment box, one thing that you're grateful for from today. I love reading everyone's gratitude, so go ahead and write a comment about one thing that you're grateful for specifically from today. Like, think about your day so far. Last week I think I was grateful that it was still light at this time for the first time in a long time. I'm still grateful for that the sun is still out and that the clouds cleared, and that we actually got some sun today. So love to read some things that you're grateful for. Go ahead, don't be shy, post away. I can keep talking in the meantime. Okay, good. Hey, Lindsay. Sorry, just saw you. Hey, Linz. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. I don't see Melissa writing what she's grateful for. Maybe she could start us off.
Lisa Hickey, my Vitamix.
Oh, your Vitamix. Okay, I'm totally jealous. I do not have one of those, but it's on my wish list. Nice. What's one of the favorite things you make in your Vitamix, Lisa? I'm curious. Like, is it smoothies, or are you like a soup person? Curious. Kathy just lit a beeswax candle I love. Love that. Lindsay's grateful for the gym. Good job, Linz. Carol, my vet, and the tech's checking out my fur baby Lucy. She's turning 13 years old this week, a Sheltie. Oh, Lucy. God bless the vets and God bless Lucy. Oh, I just love animals. Kathy, yeah, Kathy's laughing because Melissa's being called out, and she's still not writing what she's grateful for. Sarah, I'm grateful for the calm breeze and the dry day. Ah, I love that. A nice little breeze. Oh, Tamara, thank you so much. Oh, I'm glad you listened. Thank you. Lisa, my breakfast smoothie, and tonight will be chocolate cherry ice cream. Okay. Not only do I want a Vitamix, but I want you making me things out of it, because that sounds amazing. Love it. I love reading what you guys are grateful for. I guess Melissa has nothing to be grateful for. It's really sad. She just said, I'm writing right now. Okay. We're going to wait to see what hers is. And then we're going to dive into the perks of being picky. All right. Chocolate cherry ice cream. That sounds amazing. Of course, I probably won't see. Melissa, grateful for the upcoming week of sunshine, finally. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. It's supposed to get really warm here in New England. Like, I think it's supposed to go up to like the high 70s at some point during the week, which is nuts. Vitamix, best investment I've ever made in my health. Good to know, Lisa. Greek yogurt and cherries for breakfast. Yum. Love it, Phyllis. Sweet. If other things come up that you're grateful for, go ahead and throw them in the comments section. I'll be happy to go back and read them. So, all right, let's talk about the perks of being picky. So what I'm talking about here is when you have taken the time and put forth the energy to clear something out of your life that's no longer serving you. So you might have ended a friendship. You might have set a boundary with a family member. You might have cleared out some books that you haven't read or that you were done with, or you might have cleared out some clothes. Any place in your life where you have been successful at clearing some clutter, the other next important step is to figure out how to not let it reclutter, if you will. Sorry, I'm just pausing for 1 second because I saw... Oh, Vinny's sick, Leah Marie. Sorry. I'm grateful for being able to stay home with my sick son. I hope he's feeling better, honey. Tamara, grateful for getting through the academic year without any new health challenges. Yes, good job. That's great. Okay, I will no longer be distracted by comments. But I will go back to read them, so please comment away. So how do you make sure that that area that you have successfully cleared doesn't get recluttered? How to keep things out, and that is the perks of being picky. You want to be very, very selective about what you allow back into your life. So if you think about an area of your life, small, big, or otherwise, that was cluttered and that you did some clearing or did complete clearing. And think about how it felt physically in your body, energetically, mentally in your mind. Like, how did it feel when it was cluttered? And then how did it feel when you cleared some or all of it? Like, really try to tap into the difference that you felt. Like, what does it feel like now? I'm asking this because sometimes I have found for myself and for my clients that you can want to clear a part of your life a lot. Like, you can want it for a long time. Like, I really want to clear out my closet, or I really want to, clean up my friendships, whatever. You can really desire that space. But then sometimes when you've done it and you've created that space, sometimes that can feel a little exposing, a little vulnerable. So you want to look at, if you tend to clear clutter and it tends to come back, my approach, for those of you who aren't familiar, is all about like, what is the message in the mess? Why is that clutter recurring? Why is it even in your life? It's playing a role, it's serving a purpose, otherwise it would be easy to get rid of. So particularly if you've cleared an area and clutter is coming back in, you want to look and see what is the payout to that clutter. There's got to be some perk or benefit to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't return. So if you have like a clear open space, maybe that feels uncomfortable to you. Maybe that feels, like exposing and just a little bit, like maybe you feel a little bit held by your stuff, a little protected or guarded or safe. If that's the case, we want you to look for ways that you can get that same feeling without clutter. Now again, clutter, I have a couple important points about clutter. Clutter is anything that gets in the way of you living the life of your dreams. Anything. Anything that's blocking you from making forward progress. And clutter is, like when it comes to physical items, clutter is things that you no longer love, use, or want. So some people, people have, different strokes for different folks, right? I'm someone who likes a very clean, open, clear space. I need visual clarity to function at my highest. Some people like a lot of knickknacks and furniture and decor in their house. If that's what you love, then it's not clutter. So when I talk about clearing clutter, downsizing, opening up space, I'm not telling you that you have to live in a white box. Really, what you want to do is evaluate what's around you. Do you love it, need it, use it, want it? If it ticks those boxes, then it's not clutter. But if you've cleared out an area of your life and the clutter is recurring, that's when you want to look at what's going on here. So one example for me is, and I think I wrote about this, or I may have, I don't know, it's candles. So I used to have a ton of candles. I had a big box of a lot of candles. I love to burn candles. I love good scented candles. I love the ambiance. But I always had a big box of them. And it was nice because I always had some at my disposal, but I found that, when I got gifts or, sometimes there were candles that I wasn't really keen on. And so they would, and plus, Melissa and I have moved a few times. We were always carrying this box of candles. It drove her nuts. She's like, this is nuts. You have too many candles. So she put me on a purchasing candle moratorium. I wasn't allowed to purchase candles. So after a couple times of moving that box of candles, I thought, okay, I'm going to really go through this and make sure that I love them all. And so I went through them, and a lot of them were brand new, and I gave them away or donated them. Or, sometimes I had candles in there that only had like this much wax left. Threw it in the freezer to get the wax out easily, and then, recycled the glass jar. So I pared down to just those candles that I absolutely love. And so when we moved to our current place, I had, I think, 2 or 3 candles, and I really loved them. And what was great is, I still had a couple to like put into rotation if I got sick of the scent, but I now spend my money on quality over quantity. So I'm going to find candles that I really love, that are made with clean materials, that burn cleanly, don't have any chemicals in them, and I'll invest my money now in quality candles versus having a box of quantity. So that's my way of making sure I don't end up with this huge box of candles again that I'm moving from place to place, or that is just kind of draining my energy a little bit. Although it was nice to have a variety, it sat on a shelf in my office closet, and I did find that I had a little bit of a mental drain knowing that they were in there, like, oh, wow, I haven't really taken out a new candle in a long time. Or so it was weighing on me even a little bit. And so I say, if it's weighing on you a little bit, then there's some clutter there. So either I needed to put the candles in rotation, or I needed to downsize my candles. So how I prevent those from getting recluttered is I am very selective now about the candles that I have. So right now I have 2 candles, and they're both this size. I just got 2 new ones. Don't love them. I ordered them online. Bad idea with candles. I don't know what I was thinking. So I won't be getting those again, and will be purchasing my candles in person now. But I will spend a little bit more on my candles. So, oh yeah, Lindsay, I'm your twin. I have 20 plus candles. It's my addiction too. Yeah. But Linz, I've been to your house and you burn them, so that's good. You know, you actually use them. Beeswax clears the air, burns cleanly. They're worth the investment. Yeah, this is all soy, but yeah, I like beeswax better. Kathy, thank you for this. I have a few beautiful jars. Oh, but didn't know how to get the wax out. Yeah, stick your candles in the freezer. And then you can just take like a little, like I use this. I mean, it's a letter opener, but I use this. Once the wax is really hard from the freezer, I just kind of go around the edge of the candle and it pops right out. So, you're welcome. It's like I'm Heloise. For those of you who even know who Heloise is. I'm dating myself. Whatever. Some people know who Heloise is, I guarantee it. Anyway, so there's the candle thing, whatever yours is. There's, you know, let's say like the story I told in my newsletter this past week was about how I was having new photos taken from my redesigned website and how I was trying to choose what clothes I wanted to wear in the photos. And when I went into my closet, I didn't have great choices for the particular look I was going for. Now, I have downsized my wardrobe significantly, and you know how they say that you wear 20% of your wardrobe 80% of the time? So true, right? I think we can all agree to that. So I had downsized my wardrobe to that 20%. So I wear that 20%, well, I wear that 20% 100% of the time. So I pared down, which was great, right? So it makes getting dressed much easier when you don't have a ton to choose from. I just have, you know, certain pieces that I love. But so something like this came up and I thought, okay, I need to add a couple items to my wardrobe. How do I make sure they don't become clutter after the photo shoot? And so some examples I gave in my newsletter was I took the time to, you know, check out Pinterest and research examples of the types of headshots and photos that I was looking for. And then I looked for the types of clothes. I had in my mind the look that I was going for that I felt really represented me. So I took time to research that and make a list. You know, I want, you know, a jean jacket. I want, you know, blues and purples and things that work with my coloring. So I took the time to plan before going to the store blindly. And I also came up with a list of stores that I knew I had a good shot at finding what I was looking for. So I didn't just like, because listen, I hate the mall. I hate the mall. I only go to the mall when absolutely necessary. And if it's necessary, I have an idea of exactly what I need, where it is. I park near where that store is. I'm in, I'm out. I'm not a browse. I mean, believe me, I like to browse every now and then. I won't ever browse at a mall. I'll browse at like a Home Goods or a TJ Maxx. But I don't love them all. So I made a plan. Here are the stores I'm going to check out. Here are the things I'm looking to find. So this is how I'm setting myself up for success, to not let my wardrobe get recluttered, right? I'm being very intentional, very specific, and very conscious in my choice. So that way, I'm not just browsing around stores and being tempted to do like impulse shopping, like, oh, this is on sale, so I have to get it because it's on sale. It's such a good deal. How do you pass it up? Believe me, I fall victim to that. But setting myself up this way helps me to not go to a store and just because it's on a good deal means I have to get it. That would then turn into clutter, which would then drain. Like I would end up with clutter back in my wardrobe, which would take energy. Every time I opened my closet door, I'd see those items hanging there that I know I don't love, and I bought them for the wrong reasons. And so that becomes clutter in my life, which gets in the way of me living the life of my dreams. If I want to have this life, like for me personally, if I want a life of adventure and travel and, you know, experiences and excitement, but I have clothes in my closet that drain me every time I open the closet door, they clash. They are conflicting values. So, so I went out and I got pieces that I wanted to wear for the photo shoot, but I also made sure the majority of them were pieces that I loved enough to put in the rotation of my 20%, right? So very intentional. Like right now, I can think of anything that I chose to not wear, so let me back up. I went and bought a shitload of stuff. I just bought a bunch of clothes that fit my plan, knowing that I was then going to return the stuff I chose to not wear. So return those things. If you're not someone who is willing to do returns, do not use this approach. I don't mind doing returns, so I use this approach. So I returned all the stuff that I didn't love, kept the stuff that I do, and even now I can think about, out of the clothes I kept, there's one pair of jeans that I'm like, yeah, you know what, I wished I hadn't kept those. So right away, I think about that drawer that has my jeans in it, and that one pair is clutter. Like I can feel it in my body, right? So I'm already like, do I have the receipt for that? Maybe I'll return those too. I only want things in my life as much as possible that really serve me and support my values and my vision. So when you find that there's a time that you need to reintroduce something into your life, be really particular. We all have those occasions where, I can downsize my clutter, I can downsize my wardrobe, and then something like, a wedding happens, or, I got to go to a wedding or a funeral or something that requires something that is not part of my regular rotation. Do I have a couple things stashed away for that? Yes, absolutely. But again, it's like, when I think about, let's see, in the past 5 months, my father passed away and 2 uncles passed away. And, I mean, it sounds morbid, but I jokingly refer to this one blouse that I have as my funeral shirt. It's beautiful, it's appropriate, I like it, it's a good color for me, it's dressy enough for those kinds of occasions, and so that's like, it sticks in there as part of that rotation. So, whereas before, the old me, every time an occasion came up, someone's birthday dinner, anything that required, it was like, oh, I have to go get a new outfit, I have an occasion coming up, it's time for a new outfit. It's really thinking about when you find that you have that impulse to go out and shop, what is that impulse really about? I mean, believe me, I fall victim to retail therapy. There's a reason why they call it retail therapy, because it gives you a high, right? You can get a little rush out of it. But the way to not reintroduce clutter into your life is to know what's your motivation behind something. Why do you even want to go shopping? What are you really shopping for? Are you feeling particularly sad, lonely, you're not feeling great about yourself, so you want to, sorry, I got little drips on my glasses driving me nuts. Clutter on my glasses. So it's like, why am I going out to get new things? Is it really going to add value to my life? That's always a good question to ask whenever you're considering purchasing something new, or even introducing something like a new friendship into your life. Like, is this person or thing going to provide value, going to add value to my life? Really important to think about that. Just looking at my notes here to make sure I don't miss anything. So I think that, this is an important aspect. A lot of people talk about clearing clutter and about getting rid of things that you don't love. But an important part of the equation is just this. Once you have successfully done that, how do you then stop it from coming back? And that is that whole source place that I encourage you to look at. That's why as you're clearing your clutter, I always encourage you to listen to what is the message in the mess. Because when you clear not only the clutter, but you clear the reason for the clutter, you set yourself up for success to not have it return. Doesn't always have to be some deep psychological issue. It could be that you have mail clutter that reoccurs over and over again because you don't have a good system set up for handling your mail. That could be the reason behind it. The message in the mess could literally be, you need to set up a system. But the message in the mess could also be, you know, I don't feel worthy of love. That's why I, you know, date all the wrong people. Or I have a belief that I'm terrible with money, which is why I'm struggling. Like whatever it is. So the reason, the underlying message of your clutter can really vary from something as basic as I don't have a system in place to something more kind of deep-seated, if you will, which is like a blocking belief or limited belief. So I'm just going to check the comments here. Carol says, me. I'm going to guess you're a retail therapy. Is that what you're meaning?
No, Heloise.
Oh, Heloise. Carol knows who Heloise is. Thank you, Carol.
So does Kathy.
Kathy, we had her in Canada too. Okay, good. Kathy, I used to be that way more with staples, office supplies, than clothes. Oh, Kathy. Kathy. Melissa's already laughing because I love office supply stores. I love office supply stores and I love drugstores. I know. Pharmacies. Not because of the pharmacy, but like a nice, big, newly designed CVS. Forget it. Forget it. Love it. But yeah, office supply stores, I don't know why. Yeah, I totally get that, Kathy. It's office supplies for Sarah too. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what it is about them. I don't know if they just like make you feel productive or professional or important or, I don't know. You know what? I think it is? I love pens and I love pads of paper, which is probably why I like office supply stores. I like nice pens that write well. Blue. That's all. So Sarah says, I know I need a system. So yeah, looking at whether it's mail coming in, bills that need to be filed, magazines, like whatever it is, like first line of defense is, does this clutter need a system? Is that what's going on? Or is this clutter just outdated, like it doesn't serve me anymore, it doesn't fit my lifestyle? And again, I want to really remind you, it's important to know when I talk about clutter, I'm not just talking about physical things. So when you're evaluating what's working in your life and what's not, remember to consider your friendships, your boundaries. You know, if you have, you know, a boss or a coworker or a friend or an acquaintance, whomever it is, family member who doesn't respect your boundaries or that you haven't set a boundary with yet, that's a form of clutter. That's a big form of clutter. The physical stuff, people tend to focus on the physical stuff, and I also love to start there because it is a great gateway into what's really going on. That's why in my clutter course that starts next week, we start with physical clutter. It's something that's tangible. People can put their hands on it. They can see their progress when they start to clear some of this stuff. And then that opens the door to the bigger conversation, which is, okay, tell me what was really easy to clear for you, what was challenging for you to clear, what thoughts and feelings came up as you were clearing that physical clutter. You know, that's where the juice of it is, right? That's the meat of the issue, is when you can remember to pause and evaluate how you're feeling as you're clearing the clutter or as you're considering clearing the clutter. You know, oftentimes I'll have my clients, you know, if someone says they want to clear their spare room, first thing I'll say is, that's too big of a job. Start by, you know, one bureau drawer or one shelf or the bed, whatever. But also, before you even start sorting stuff, just spend 5 or 10 minutes writing down, as you sit there looking at the clutter before you, writing down what you're feeling and what you think and kind of what's coming up for you as you consider doing it. Let me see. They make me feel useful. Okay, yeah. Got it. Just going back to the comments here. Feel organized, getting systems in place, or thinking we are. Yeah, Carol, I think you're right. Yes, yep. Mike and I just got rid of 4 bags together of old clothes last weekend. I love that, Leah Marie. Doesn't that feel amazing? It's like, this is it. Like, bags of clothes I love because it's just so easy. Unfortunately, I've done it, so I can't do anymore, or else I'd be naked. But when you get rid of bags of clothes, or you just like to feel that expansiveness, knowing that that stuff is gone, I really want you to, if you haven't already, pay attention, Leah Marie, to any coincidences, anything that pops up or that happens that you were like, oh wow, that was unexpected, or wow, I was just thinking about that, and there it is. Like, when you clear clutter like you did, I mean, that 4 bags, that's a lot, which is great. When you clear that kind of clutter, the channels open right up. And it's like, I believe all of us have these amazing opportunities and gifts just waiting for us in the perimeter that we are blocking out with our clutter. And when we clear some space, we open those channels and the gifts can come flooding through. The secret is to recognize when something comes through, right? Because that invites more. So it can be any little coincidence, maybe something that you've anticipated being hard ended up being easier. Over this past week, so that was last weekend that you did that. I don't know if you mean just this past weekend or the weekend before. If it's been a week, think back to your previous week and see if you can come up with an example of something where you just kind of felt like in the flow or life just felt a little bit easier. It will be a result of clearing the clutter. Trust me. They make me feel useful. I get that, Sarah. We need a private chat about pens. You know. I love, if anyone has a good pen recommendation, and again, I mean, I'll tell you, I'm an easy girl. This little thing, not the fanciest thing, but it has a beautiful color blue that it writes, and it's smooth. I'm a medium point, not a fine point. Just FYI. Office stores can give a false sense we're getting organized. It's true, Carol. It's kind of like the Container Store. I don't know if you all have that. It's a store of containers, hence the name. But really, like, you can go into the Container Store and it has an organizational system for anything. So you can go into that store and feel like, oh my God, I need this container and that and this rack system, and you can buy all these things that make you feel like you're going to be so organized, and you come back home and now you just have a big pile of clutter, of container clutter. So yeah, I think you're right. Same thing with the office stores. Leah Marie, I love good pens. They have to be comfortable when you write with them. I'm a pen fanatic at work. Yep, totally hear you. Kathy, I find physical clutter is more a symptom than the cause. Absolutely. It absolutely is. It felt great, especially since most of them we haven't touched since we moved in 2 years ago. That's an easy way to clear clutter, right, Leah Marie? I think a lot of people have boxes or bags or things from a previous move that they never unpacked. And that's usually where I start with clients. I'll say, okay, do you have anything in your house that you haven't touched since you moved in? And if you haven't touched it or looked for it, you can get rid of it. So that's awesome. Really great. Kathy loves Pilot pens. Yeah. Carol, I purposely have avoided that store. Bet it'd be a money pit. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it, Carol. Stay away from the Container Store. Pilot Dr. Grip Gel. Best pen ever. Not usually a fan of gel pens, but I'll check it out. I'll check it out, Kathy. Thanks. Yeah, something like the Container Store is just an opportunity to have container clutter. So, look, I'm going to use Leah Marie as an example again. So you've cleared out 4 bags of clutter, of clothes, right? So how do you make sure that that space doesn't get filled with other stuff, whether it's clothes or, because sometimes it can be like, well, I cleaned out my closet, I get to go shopping for new clothes now. That could be the case, like I needed to for my photo shoot, but now you have the opportunity, now that you've cleared that space, when you go to buy something new, be very selective about what you choose. We have, I'm not going to get on a soapbox here, but I will say, we have fast fashion going crazy in our country. I mean, there's H&M stores and Kohl's and all of these stores that are fast fashion, they call it. So it's stuff that's made very cheaply, in very poor conditions for the workers in the countries that the clothes are made. And because we have such ready access to fast fashion, we tend to wear things, get bored, and then toss them. And so the amount of clothes in landfills is unbelievable. So really be selective. That's whether it's candles or clothes or anything else. Like, really be selective about what do I want that's quality instead of quantity. You'll have less clutter that way. You'll love the items more because they're really good quality, and you won't be contributing to the landfill that's out there, and you won't be supporting companies whose workers are mistreated.
And they'll last longer.
And they'll last longer. Thanks, Melissa. And they'll last longer. Okay. End soapbox. that's a slash for code, HTML, and soapbox. Yeah. Okay, let's see. How about saving the empty boxes and bags, thinking they'll come in handy for future moves? Finally dumping some of these. That's a great point, Carol. I was just talking to a client of mine about that recently, that empty boxes from a move, right? Save a few of them, sure, it makes sense. You might need some boxes, but saving all of them, believe me, in the last 2 years, I've moved 3 times. Is that right, Melissa?
Yeah.
And so I carried over some boxes because I knew those moves were coming, so I didn't get rid of them. But any other big moves I've made, if I move someplace that I anticipate being for a while, I go right onto Craigslist or Facebook yard sales, and I say, free moving boxes, who wants them? They're all broken down. People come and get them. I can leave them out curbside or whatever. And then when I need boxes, I just go on those same sites and I put in search of moving boxes. Moving boxes are always in rotations. You can always find those easily. You can go to stores. If you need to find moving boxes, great time to do it is like the 1st or 2nd of the month, because that's when people move, right? So this is what I mean. We don't have to hold on to things as a just-in-case scenario. We have enough access to things that go ahead and recycle that cardboard, pass it on to someone else who needs it, and then, pick up some used ones when you need it. Has a comfy gel cushion. I'll take a pic after the chat and we'll email you. All right, Kathy's really selling this pen. I'm going to give it a shot. I'll take a peek at it. Yeah, so that's actually a really good example, Carol, of like a space being recluttered. So like, let's say you move somewhere, you unpack all these boxes, you feel good because you've unpacked, but now you have all these empty boxes. That's just clutter as well. So you can, I'm just going to check something before I say it. I know lots of people do online shopping, right? So a lot of my clients have a ton of like Amazon boxes, for instance. Amazon now has this program, which I'm just trying to find. Amazon and Give Back Box are working together to make donating easier for you. So you can take the Amazon box that you got from your delivery, unpack your merchandise, fill the box with usable clothing, accessory, household goods you no longer need, and you can get a free shipping label from givebackbox.com. And then you send your box via UPS or the Postal Service, and it delivers it to charity for you. I mean, how easy is that, right? So you get your Amazon box, or whatever box, you unpack your merchandise, you go to givebackbox.com, you can fill the box with clothing, household accessories, usable clothing, so not like rags, accessories and household goods, and then you get a free label and you can just ship them off. So it's a great way to reuse the boxes and get rid of clutter and make a donation. So, I mean, talk about a win-win-win. It's good stuff. Yeah, it's really cool, Sarah. Really, really cool. So can anyone here think of an area in your life, and again, it can be physical clutter, emotional, anything, that you have recently cleared out that you fear it could get cluttered again? So Leah Marie, I know you got rid of a bunch of clothes. I'm trying to think if there's an area. I think about it. I'm in a little bit of a unique situation here because we are building our tiny house. So although we have a small storage facility that we keep parts in and tools and stuff for the build, sometimes the tiny house building materials can accumulate in my living room. It drives me nuts because, as I said, I need visual clarity. So Melissa's been great at clearing out the living room, but that's an example that could get easily recluttered, right? Just because we're in the process of this building, if we find a deal somewhere and we go pick it up, we might just throw it in the living room for now. So that's an example of something that needs a system put into place. So now, our system can be, instead of bringing it into the house, if we pick it up, we bring it right to the storage unit. So that doesn't get recluttered. Let me just check here. That is a good question, Carol. How do you get the tax receipt for the donation? I'm going to guess, let me see here. I'm not sure. Check out the givebackbox.com. I'm sure they'll have something on there. Oh yeah, okay, yep. If you go to givebackbox.com, I just saw that you put in your zip code and your email address, and there's a little box that you can check off that says, I do not need to receive tax deduction receipt. So if you keep that unchecked, you'll probably get emailed a tax deduction receipt. That's a good question. Oh, thanks, Melissa, for putting that in there. The clothing I donated in April. Yeah, Sarah, so you donated clothing in April. Is there any fear that the wardrobe, the closet, the bureau is going to get recluttered? And if so, what can you do to prevent that? Leah Marie, I need more organization in some areas of my house. Okay, so that's a systems thing, right? So look and see, like, what areas of my house need organization, and what will that organization look like? Like, what's the best way that you can streamline the systems in your house? Now Leah Marie, I know you have a big house, so be careful of the have space must fill scenario like I fell into when I owned my house. So when you think about organizing areas of your house, this goes for anyone, first line is always, do I still want this? Don't spend your time organizing something you don't even want anymore, or that you don't love. So just because you have the room for it doesn't mean that you should keep it. So when you think about what you need to organize, first ask yourself, do I even want this stuff? Carol, my master bedroom closet is looking good. I want to get rid of more things in there, but afraid I may start not hanging things up again. Trying to stay on top of it every night before going to bed. That's a great system, Carol. I mean, that's an example of a good system, is a nightly routine of hanging up clothes that aren't hanging up. Then you can even see if you can take that a step further to, as soon as I take something off, I hang it up. It comes off me, it gets hung. Or if you're talking about, like, after doing laundry, if you have, like, a basket of folded clothes, or clothes that need to be hung, that can be like using that Pomodoro round that I talk about, the 25-minute, set a timer for 25 minutes and just hang a bunch of clothes, or put away laundry. That's a great tool to use to help you clear some stuff out. I don't want it to come back just because I have space. Yeah, Sarah, perfect, right? Exactly what I'm saying. Just because you have the space does not mean you need to fill it. Like, think about, you can fill that space with something other than things. So fill that space with a phone call to a loved one, or fill that space with a nice hot bath. Fill that space with something that nurtures you, or that gives you longer lasting results of joy. Experiences over things, right? Always last longer. Leah Marie, do not go to the Container Store. Unless, again, the Container Store for me is like the mall. If I have a very specific need for something, and I know they have it, I'm going to go there to get it. But just have a plan before you go. Otherwise, shiny object syndrome in the Container Store is big. It'll be like, oh, this is cool. Oh, I don't even have anything that needs that kind of organization, but let me get it because it's cool, and then I'll get something to organize it. Like, you just got to be really careful. It's such a slippery slope. So just, you can go to those stores. You just want to have a plan first. That's what we want to do when we clear space in our life and we don't want to reclutter it. You need to come with a plan. It's like, how can I prevent that from getting cluttered again? And if I run the risk of filling it just because I now have space, what am I really looking to fill? I know that sounds so like psychobabbly, but it's really true. It's, I know, that a new shirt or a new purse can really, like, give me a fix. It can make me feel good and excited. And you know what? If I need it, then great. But if this, I always want to look for how else can I get the joy that I seek. Or the flip side of that is, what am I neglecting in my life right now that I think a new purchase is going to fulfill? So again, it's the, am I feeling lonely? Am I feeling sad? Am I having a little bit of a pity party? Like, whatever it is, be with the emotions first before looking to silence them through a purchase or through more things or through calling a friend who's not the best at being the most supportive person, right? That's clutter. So if you have, let's say you have a new friend who's really great at supporting you, and you pick up the phone and you call your old friend who's really kind of crappy at supporting you, that's reintroducing clutter, right? You've got this new friend who's a great support system. Give them a call. Don't clutter up your energy, your time, or your space with things that don't match the values that you say you have for your life. So when you think about what do you want to do, like what is something you want to do in life? What goal do you have? What adventure do you want to take? What dream do you want to fulfill? And this item that you're considering purchasing or this person that you're considering inviting into your world, do they support that vision? You know, and not literally like does their energy, does their essence, does who they are or what that item is support your dream and your desire? Because that's when I work with people, that's what I do. They come to me, sure, we talk about physical clutter first, but that is just where we crack open the door. But I want to hear about what is getting in your way from fulfilling these dreams, and it's usually limited thinking, it's blocking beliefs, it's draining relationships, and it's physical stuff. So as we start to clear out these things, you'll feel more motivated and empowered to take steps that otherwise may have felt really risky, but now feel doable because you have access to more energy, and you have more access to more of your soul, which makes us more courageous. So we think clutter is just stuff. It so is not. So let me see, Kathy. Fill with memories and experiences instead of things. Makes more time for things we love instead of cleaning. Yeah, that's it too. It's like, that was one of the several reasons that we sold our house. It's like, we don't want to spend 4 hours cleaning. It was a big house. You don't want to spend our weekends doing yard work. I mean, that's just us personally. So it's like, our values are experiences over things. And I'm not saying that that's the only template to live by, but that's ours. We were living by society's template, which is, you get married, you buy a house, you do the 9-to-5 job. Like, that's the definition of success. It wasn't for us. And so once we realized that, wait a minute, that's not the only template for life. We can choose a different template. We did. So it all comes back to, what are your individual values? And are the moves you're making and the things that you're buying aligned with those values? That's what it really boils down to. If you find that you're buying things or doing things or inviting or being in a relationship with people who are not aligned with your values, you want to look at why that is. There's a reason why you're keeping yourself stuck. It's usually fear. But that's the work that I do, is looking at what is it that you're doing. Why are you keeping yourself stuck? What feels so scary? What are the feared consequences of taking that step? So again, if you want to check out my course, talk about all this and more, you just go to my website, KerryRichardson.com, and there's a link right on there that talks about my clutter course starting soon, starting next Monday. Would love to have some of you peeps in there. It's 4 weekly video lessons, live video lessons. There's a private Facebook group. There's worksheets and assignments that go with each week's module. And and in the private Facebook group that's just for students, I go in there daily and offer individual coaching in the Facebook group. So just go to KerryRichardson.com and you can check out that course. All right, anyone have any final thoughts, questions, or anything before we wrap up? Appreciate you all being here. I really do, as always. Love to have you guys here. And again, go ahead and go to KerryRichardson.com, sign up for my newsletter. The topic that I write about on Thursdays, the newsletter goes out on Thursday. We dive deeper into that topic the following Monday on Facebook Live. So you can read the newsletter, get an idea of what I'm going to be talking about the following Monday. Then you can line up questions if you have them, thoughts, etc., etc. So thanks, Leah Marie. Glad you loved the topic. All right, cool. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great night. Hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day.
Christy's question.
Oh, and I missed a question. Let me go back. Is the course a lifetime membership or just one round? Oh, Christy, it is a lifetime membership as far as the Facebook group goes. Yes. Christy, I think we worked together. So the past course, if you took one of my previous courses, you have access to those recorded videos for life. And the Facebook group is available to you. I've revamped the course, and so the one that's starting next week, it's going to be live video, so it's going to be interactive. Not on Facebook Live, it's on a platform called Zoom. So if you want to be like live on video with me, you can. Like you can be on video as well, or we can just do a chat. It's a really cool technology. Yeah, so great. You can go to KerryRichardson.com. Hope to see you in there, Christy. Anyone else who's interested would love to have you join us. I'm excited. It's going to be a fun topic, and talk about really concrete action steps. You will see unbelievable progress with the amount of clutter you clear at the end of 4 weeks. And actually, there's a bonus 5th week that is a live Q&A video just to make sure that you're all set up for success at the end of the course. I know questions always come up after a course, so I'm doing a bonus live Q&A in the 5th week to answer any and all questions. So cool. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate you spending this time with me. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.